Hello YouTube, this is StarTard here, and today I have something a little different. Instead of engineering stuff, I'm going to be talking about how to incorporate scripts that you find online into the game. And this is a tutorial for new players, which is why you see my entire screen. I want to show everything, all the steps included. I think that's best done with the full screen. So, I'm gonna go into start an elementary tutorial here. So you see here when I switch to my my options screen on the default TF2 screen, on the loading screen, uh, all you have to do is click options, and the first thing you want to do here is enable the developer console, and that's very important because when you enable the console, you can change your scripts and even write scripts into the game. And it says here toggle developer console, and it's the key directly below your escape key. It's in the left side of your keyboard, next to your 1 key, below your escape key, and above your tab key. It's that square key with the little squiggle on it. So I'm going to press that, and the console comes up. And so what the console essentially does is it shows everything. It shows all your stuff, like who dies, who lives. Like here, this was from a game last night. It shows how I kill people. It shows how people die. It shows pretty much everything that goes on in the game. And when you're on your own, you can actually do some interesting things. You might have heard people say bind, and you might have been, as a new player, tried to be trolled by typing in unbind all, and I would not do that, because it literally unbinds all of your keys. So if someone tries to get you to unbind all, don't listen to them. You won't be able to move or talk. The only thing you can do is look around. That's it. You can't move, you can't shoot, you can't do anything. So in the developer console, you can bind keys to actions, and by that same token, you can unbind keys to actions. So here's an example. So currently I have my K key bound to suicide. So if I'm stuck in a situation that I can't get out of, like if I'm teletrapped or something, I can just press K and I'll suicide. So here's an example of an unbind. So unbind K. And now my K is not bound to anything. And if I want to rebind it, the command for suicide is kill. So binds all have two commands. They have the key, which you can type like that, and then they have the command. So you bind a key to a command. So if you bind K to kill, you don't need the quotation marks. So bind K to kill. There. And now if I go into a game and press K, I will kill myself. That's an elementary example of a bind. The more complicated scripts use like bind. Oh, I'm gonna use this as an example from one of my previous videos. Bind O to Flying Fortress. And Flying Fortress, if you don't know, is not an actual command in game. So if you want to bind something to a custom action, you have to alias. And I'm not the person to explain aliasing, but in essence, it's the process of telling the game what to do for that command. So let's go and show you guys how to upload custom scripts into TF2. So you want to you want to right click on TF2, and you just want to go like this, right click, and it'll come up with this menu. And you go to properties, you go to local files, and you browse your local files. And because I'm playing on a Mac, yours might be different, but it comes up with this menu. And you go to the folder that is abbreviated TF for Team Fortress. There should be a folder like this. It's an abbreviation of your game, Team Fortress. So you go to this, you double click it, and you go to CFG. and it comes up with all of these different things. What you want to do is go to config. This is the most important one. If you double click it, I use text edit to bring up mine, but of course you can use a different program, and it comes up with all of the binds, and this is everything that the game executes when it boots. And it doesn't come with aliases, it doesn't come with anything. As you can see, Flying Fortress is there, some of my other binds are there. It comes with no aliases, it just comes with commands. And this is the most basic form of your key configs. So I'm going to quit out of that, and as you can see here, I have engineer.cfg, excuse me. If I open this comes up with my engineer commands, and those are the custom commands that I have for engineer. And if I go to autoexec, this is also, it's the same thing, coincidentally, but autoexec is essentially CFG config.cfg, and you can manually execute autoexecute.cfg by typing in exec for execute autoexec.cfg, and that will automatically execute that file if the game is not already doing that. So, how do you get autoexec? That's the first thing that you need to get if you want to start scripting. So to do that, you right click on config and you copy it. Then you go back to your CFG, you click, and then you you go back, you click on this, and then you paste. You paste item in it, and you heard that little sound. That means it pasted successfully, and it says config.cfg copy, and you can rename this. Rename it something like rename it autoexec.cfg. I already have it up there, as you can see, but that's what you would do. You rename the copy autoexec.cfg. And let me delete this real quick, if I can delete it. Let me drag this into the trash can. So that's how you get autoexec.cfg. And when you do get that, let me go to the trash and open it. Let me go and drag this and put it back in here. When you open this, after renaming it, what you want to do is get all of this highlighted all, and as funny as it sounds, you want to just delete all of it. And that will, it still saves everything, and you want to save it. And once you've deleted it, just rename it autoexec.cfg. See, it says it's already taken, so you can't do that. But there's nothing in here, and that means that it's pretty much set to accept new key configs like these. So, getting scripts. Currently, I have the scripts that you saw were from Uncle Dane's Jag Effect video, and what you do to get those scripts into your little configs is, let's open up config copy. This would ordinarily, if you were just doing this for the first time, be named autoexecute, autoexec right here. So what you do is you pretty much just copy and paste all of these things. So for example, Command C, and then you go back to config copy.cfg, and you do Control V to paste it. So that's how you would do all of that. And if you want to do class specific key configs, then you just copy the autoexec and paste it back into the CFG folder. under a new name. And you rename that like engineer, scout, soldier, etc. But because I don't play any of those classes very much, I just made an engineer.cfg. But for but because we have a copy of config.cfg, I'm going to just delete this little line of script, and I'm going to save this. And the class I play second most is medic, so I'm going to quit out of that, and then I am going to rename this medic.cfg, and that's the binds for my medic. And so if I find any medic scripts, I will write them, and I will copy and paste them into here. And to have the game execute those in game, you would say exec medic.cfg, just like that. But because I play engineer, I want to execute engineer.cfg, so you type exec engineer.cfg. And remember, the game cannot execute these files unless you actually have it in here as a legitimate file. And as I said before, you do that by copy and pasting config and deleting everything in it and then renaming it. You obviously want to have auto execute and whatever classes you play. And if you want to find any scripts for those, you can just search them up. But you have medic.cfg and I have engineer.cfg. So these are the three that I have for engineer. Uncle Dane / Solar Lights teleport script for the Eureka effect, and I have the Flying Fortress bind that I showcased for you guys. And of course, in this video, all of these will be available to steal with credit going to their respective creators. So, thank you guys for watching, and I hope this helps you new players hopefully learn something about the inner workings of TF2 and how this game works. And I hope this really improves your experience with the game and helps you get into it a little bit more. So, thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.